Okay, so there's this kid in Ohio. He's a high school student, 4.0 student, and he's a star on a soccer team. And over the summer, he retweeted see this thing over there, my shoulder. He retweeted that. Someone had tweeted, a guy who was pro pot legalization. He tweeted a picture of a bud of marijuana and a lighter, and the kid retweeted it, and he got suspended from his team. From his soccer team in his senior year. The kid's an athlete. He's a star athlete. He's a 4.0 student. He's going to get a scholarship. They suspend him because he tweeted a picture of marijuana over the summer from his house.
Wow.
Yes. So the kid got suspended from the team, and now he didn't get his scholarship offer. Nobody was interested in him anymore to give him a scholarship. First of all, he was first suspended for the whole year.
What?
And then they suspended him, I think, for a month. They ended up suspending him, or maybe 3. I don't know. It was I should get more facts on this, but
Well,
they originally suspended him for the whole year, and then when he went back in, they lowered it. But still, he was suspended from the team. He's got a mark against his record, and then now colleges weren't interested in him. And
the plus side is he now gets to play a real sport.
Yeah. Well, here's what I say. Here's what I say about this. What does this teach this kid? What does this teach this?
Don't play soccer.
You know what I mean? I mean, what it teaches him is that life is full of hypocrites and double standard and random punitive bullshit. So get used to it.
right.
Get used to it. You're going to find in life. Go ahead.
Is he suing the school or anything?
They do have a lawsuit now. Well, guess what happened? So they didn't do anything. And then in December of last year, the kid went into the school gymnasium, and a cop at the school escorted him out of the gym, said he looked high. He said his eyes looked like he was on drugs. So they take him out of the gymnasium at this event, and they make him, and he's not high. He wasn't on drugs. He's never tested positive. He wasn't on drugs. So they're screwing with this kid. So
they found traces of Twitter in his urine.
Ha! So the kid, that's when they decided to file a lawsuit, right? And it's
Before we get into the social and political ramifications of this, so let's start with this. It's Ohio.
Yeah.
What Hall of Fame is in Ohio? Is the Soccer Hall of Fame there or the Football Hall of Fame?
It would be the Football Hall of Fame.
Right. So here's what clearly happened. Had this guy actually played football, no one would have said a word.
Right.
But what they're trying to do in Ohio is eradicate soccer.
That's what it's.
Well, also, if he in Ohio for football players, not only do they not bust you for drugs, they actually give you roofies to use.
Yeah. Oh, Steubenville, right? Yeah, that's Ohio. And it's just all this does is show kids that have no respect for the law, that people are going to be punitive for no reason, that in life you're often going to find that up is down, black is white, and right is wrong. And all I got to say is, really?
And soccer's not football.
And soccer's not football. You're going to find that out. And let me just ask this question. Was it a slow crime day in Belleville? Is this Barney Fife land? This is the thing that's wrong with the kids today, that they're tweeting pictures of pot? Really? Because I'm going to tell you what's really wrong. First of all, we got to get over this thing that pot is bad, okay, in America. We got to stop being afraid of pot. Pot is a drug that falls somewhere on the drug scale between an Advil and a latte, okay? Nothing's going to happen to you if you smoke pot. And I know all these people who, they go, oh, I'm afraid my kid's going to smoke pot. Oh, my God. When people have kids, they start freaking out about pot. I don't want my kid to smoke pot.
Let me ask you this, though, Jimmy.
What?
Soccer's boring enough. Do you want them high, too?
Yes, I do. That's why you got to be high to play soccer. That's what I'm saying. It makes everything more interesting. But
all it does is take the slowest sport ever and slow it down more.
Well, what I say to these parents, I go, well, wait a minute, but didn't you smoke pot when you were in high school and college? Oh, yeah, I smoke pot, but I'm afraid my kids will smoke. Oh, because you're an idiot, right? So you think the best way to handle this is to pretend you didn't smoke pot to your kids and make your kids think that pot is bad, even though they know it's not. Even though the real thing that's going to screw the kid up is beer and liquor. You know, the team that's going to get sponsored by Corona and Budweiser, the thing that's going to sponsor his soccer team when he gets to high school, college, and the pros. Those are the things. I mean, college football is brought to you by alcohol. Those are the things that are going to screw your kid up, not marijuana.
Right.
But let's keep pretending that this is the problem because we're horrible parents, and the way to handle drugs is to lie to your kids about it.
Well, the thing is, Jimmy, if you see a picture of pot online and you don't retweet it, it means you're bogarting it on Twitter.
Yes. Yes. Sure, I smoked pot in high school, but I'm afraid my kids will because I've internalized all the bullshit that this culture says about pot smoking, and now I'm going to dump it on my kid, and we're going to make this situation worse. How does this help this kid? It doesn't help the kid at all. You screwed him up. He can't get a scholarship. He's got a mark against his record. He's learned all the horrible lessons about life and not one good one. And how, if the parents involved in this community, how do you feel like a grown-up parent? This is really what's wrong with the kids? That they're tweeting stuff about pot? That's the problem you got to come down on in this country? What would you want to say, Steph?
The problem is he's not good enough to play football.
Would you shut up?
That's the problem.
Ultimately, I can't.
Soccer, crystal meth should be mandatory in soccer.
Yeah,
I've got to see some speed.
I think fighting should be mandatory in soccer.
Absolutely.
They should have fights more than goals. What do you want to say, Steph?
Well, I just think this whole thing is baloney. The whole,
What are you, Dana Perino?
I'm Dana Perino. That, honestly, where are his parents? I cannot believe that his parents, were not immediately involved.
His father's name is Alfred Newman. How about that? His dad is the guy from Mad Magazine. And
you know what, Jimmy, I did want to say this. I really doubt that the school or any school district in the nation has any kind of policy regarding Twitter.
So by the way, did they hire someone to monitor all their students' Twitter feeds? Is that what they're doing? And the answer is yes, they're doing that. They've hired companies. Schools have hired I don't know if this school did that, but I know that I've reported on this story before for the Young Turks. When I say report, I mean I talked about it. And I've talked about this before on the Young Turks, where schools are now hiring companies that will monitor your kids' social network stuff, Facebook and Twitter. This is what we're spending.
When I was in high school, we only read 1984. We didn't live it like this.
Yeah, no kidding, right? And it's like, why? What? We don't have enough teachers, right? Our class sizes are 40 kids per class in this country, but we've got money to spend on people to monitor the kids' Twitter feeds. Because that's what's going to help.
Jimmy, I will confess that in 1974 or so, 73, when I was in high school, I did actually retweet a picture of pot, even though Twitter hadn't been invented yet, but that's just how high I was.